What's up, guys? So I actually ended up moving to a different spot, and the reason being is because I got to attack level 50, strength level 50, and I even at the time I had defense level 30, and I started wanting to find a more AFK combat leveling method, and crawlers weren't it. Obviously, you guys saw the last video. Crawlers, you had to manually select the mobs, and I set up my bar in a way where I could AoE them. So I just discovered that there are some skills that are AoE. Think it was which one was it? This one. Yeah, I discovered that this is an AoE with two hand, and there's an AoE one with what you call it, with two separate swords somewhere in here. Anyways, we're not gonna get into that. I'm sure you guys know what that means. And then I did AoE for a while, but it wasn't really AFK, right? I still had to like click around and play. So then I was like, let me go and truly find an AFK strategy. So then I went back to Hill Giants because I initially tried Hill Giants prior to Crawlers, but they were just way too tanky. But now that I have a Rune Scimitar and 50 attack, I was like, let me go back to Hill Giants. And I actually ended up working really well. I AFK'd at Hill Giants for quite a bit. But then at Tamer, or sorry, not Tamer, at combat level 53, Hill Giant stopped aggroing me because I think the aggro wears off after your level doubles the monster you're killing. So Hill Giants were level 26, and my combat level 53 was more than double level 26. So they just stopped aggroing me. So that AFK strategy stopped working. So then I was like, okay, free to play. What? Because obviously, in members world, there's a ton of locations to go, but in free to play there isn't many. So I was like, what's the next upgrade to Hill Giants? And I thought probably Moss Giants, because I remember Moss Giants used to be in the wilderness. And so I started Googling all the locations for Moss Giants, and then I found this Varrock Underground. So literally the east of Varrock Castle, there's a manhole. And if you go into that manhole, you're going to end up somewhere around here. And then if you walk across, you're going to have to spam this little web thingy multiple times. And you walk down, go in, and then come around this area. There's two Hill Giant spots. And they AFK, I think the AFK lasts for 10 minutes. You can basically AFK level. And they're level 40, so you can use them for up to combat level 80. So yeah, I mean, I've just been AFKing my defense. My defense was at 30. I had mithril armor, and now I'm almost at 50. So I can actually pretty much get rune armor pretty soon. But I've just been hopping here. When this expires, hopping there. When that expires, hopping here. And just rotating back and forth. And I've been gaining a pretty good amount of EXP without any intervention. Basically, I got to do about 6 clicks an hour, right? Like every 10 minutes, you got to move over. So that ends up being 6 clicks an hour. And it's purely AFK. And I can stay here for another 22 levels. So that's probably going to be my plan for the next couple days. Although I do want to do some questing, or I do want to pick up some other skill. Because again, one thing I do get bored of is doing the same thing over and over again. So I probably will switch it up, but like, why not just stay here till combat level, at least not even 80. Let's just even say like 70, right? Which basically makes my account strong enough to do most of the early game content without ever having to worry about combat. Now, I could probably also train my range here and my magic here, because again, it's the same concept. You're just going to AFK, set up your runes or arrows, and then let it do its thing. Obviously, like the levels being lower will mean that I would do less damage, because again, 50 attack, I have a rune scimitar, so I'm doing pretty, like, look at how fast I'm killing these guys with 6,000 HP. And I kind of get why they call it RuneScape now, but I'm going to make a separate video about that entirely. But yeah, this is my strategy. Actually, I'm recording this the day before, so I usually post a video a day. So when you guys watch it, this is technically a day before, but I have to go into the office tomorrow. So I'm just basically pre-recording because I don't want to get off my daily upload grind. I want to upload daily on this channel for the foreseeable future, as long as I can. So that's the plan. Again, I told you guys that I prefer doing quests on weekends, because on weekends I can actually go and read the chat logs and read the quest line and storyline. On weekdays, I prefer more AFK style AFK strategies, because again, I'm playing this game in between work sessions, and like obviously I can't immerse myself fully into lore and understanding the game storyline and content if I'm trying to semi AFK this. So I'm glad I found a fully AFK. This isn't even a semi. This is like a completely fully AFK strategy. I don't die. Like I have enough health and self healing. I have swordfish and strength potions, but like I haven't really been using them. And so this is going to last me for a while. I think the next thing I'm going to do right after this, once I get bored of this, which should be pretty soon, is get my mining to 60 and unlock the mining guild. And I don't really know what that really gives me. We already have a spot for rune ore, so I'm assuming the mining guild has a bank nearby, so it would be a better spot to farm rune ore where I can go and bank nearby, and then I can get my mining high. But I've been using mining primarily for GP, and I obviously have 1.4 million. Which, by the way, I haven't really found the need for GP yet. I mean, obviously I have my gear, which costs a little bit, like 500-600K, but I have not really spent that much GP. Everything is relatively cheap to how much GP I've earned from getting 56 mining. That 56 mining earned me like 2-3 million GP. And 2-3 million GP has been more than enough for literally most of the content. Now, the only caveat is if I'm buying membership with money instead of bonds, which is kind of unfair, but like I understand that bonds are like 140 million GP, and so a lot of players will, try and use their money making methods to make 140 million GP a month. And I think just flat out buying a bond it basically gives me 140 million if you really think about it a month, which is a pretty good amount of GP. I honestly don't know how I feel about it. Like some part of me is tempted to just go and try and earn 140 million GP before I go for the membership. But at the same time, like that means that I'll be gated out of content for quite a while, and I'm gonna have to find stuff to do. And with free to play, like again, like I said before in the last video, there is a lot of stuff to do. But like the thing about this game is the early levels are very, very fast. Like you guys saw me literally 6 days ago at total stats under 30, and now we're at 359, right? Like obviously we are blitzing through the early game stats, like 56 mining, 50 attack, 50 strength, almost 50 defense, 50 hit points, like 40 wood cutting. I could probably get that to 50 or 60 to start cutting yew trees. We're like blitzing through the early game levels. But then you see, look at the difference between level 50 and level 56. It's almost halfway. 50 is 101K, 56 is 185K. So at each point in time, it's going to get harder and harder to get to the next stage. So I think around level 60 to 70, we're going to get really, really capped out on EXP. I would even say I would say 70. 70 is like where it really, really starts getting capped out. And at that point in time, I think we're going to hit a serious wall. And so trying to force myself to make 140 million GP and being capped out at level 70, I think will kill my motivation. I don't know yet, but I have a feeling it will. So let's see. So far, I have not felt the urge to charge or the urge to go into members yet. I have not felt the. I mean, okay. I'll be honest. I have slightly felt the urge a little bit, but it's not like crazy. Okay, it's not like crackhead urge to go and become a member. Because again, members just have access to better stuff. Like I found about the aggressive potion. Okay, by the way, I just realized it expired between me talking. So now I'm just gonna walk over to this side and aggro these guys for a little while. I love this spot, man. But again, back to what I was saying. I felt the urge, but it was like very tiny whiny. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like aggro potions, better trees, better gear. Like at level 60, we can use dragon gear in members. We're not going to be able to do that here. So there's almost virtually no point going above 50 attack, other than if you go for stronger mobs, then you can probably do higher accuracy. But as you see on Hill Giants, we have 100% accuracy. And I don't plan to go past 70. Hill Giants is more than enough for almost up to level 80. But we're not going to freaking get level 80 here. It's just going to be cancerous, right? So, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I don't know if I'm going to actually try and save up for a bond or if I'm just going to flat out pay dollars for it. But I think eventually when I start doing skills like prayer maybe that GP count goes up. That's probably going to be the case because prayer is extremely expensive. So right now, 2 million, 3 million GP has been more than enough for my use cases or for me. But I also have not touched the expensive skills. Like if I use alking to level magic, which is a very AFKable strategy, or if I want to level like a range, and range gets pretty expensive with arrows. I don't know if it's still the case, but it used to be. Or if smithing, like basically buying ores. I can obviously mine the ores, but at some point in time, if you want to really move fast, buying the ores is better. Then fire making, for example, another one like that could be a very expensive one. So I think I'm gonna do like some of the expensive skills as free to play without having spent money, just to like immerse myself into the money spending as well. Because right now I'm not spending anything; I'm just hoarding it. Because I do want to get into the mentality mindset of like actually spending your GP and depleting resources and increasing it and depleting it. Because right now my resources just keep going up and there's nothing being depleted. And I think that's a very important part of RuneScape. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't want to ramble on for too long. If you guys again are enjoying this content, then please drop a like. It's the only way I know you guys actually like this stuff. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out. Bye.